Alright, hey guys, I'm Rebels TCG and I'm here to bring you a new video. So this video is for the MYSTERUNE archetype, which is part of the deck build pack, the same deck build pack that came with Valiant's different archetype. If you want to check it out, it's on the top right corner. It's a really interesting deck. But yeah, it looks like we're finally seeing the second one. And yeah, I guess we could just get started here. So this is Spring of the MYSTERUNE, which is a field spell. You can activate MYSTERUNE quick play spells from your hand during your opponent's turn. So, okay, that's interesting. Once per turn, if you activate a MYSTERUNE quick play spell, you can target up to 3 MYSTERUNE quick play spells in your grave, place them in the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw that many cards. That's pretty cool. Once per turn, you can just recycle and then draw that many cards. That's decent. I mean, that's pretty good just to be able to draw into a lot of things. You do lose out on those mystery and quick play spells, which I think a big focus on this deck. It sounds like it's already going to be on these quick play spells, similar to Sky Striker. But yeah, let's continue. So here we have a continuous spell card, which is it's called Deceit of the MYSTERUNE. You can only control one. Each time a quick play spell is activated, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Okay, that's interesting. So depending on how effective this deck will be at like using quick play spells, it's gonna be funny to see if you can actually successfully, keep your opponent off their deck just by banishing cards. This looks interesting so far, though. I hope it's an actual effective way. It's essentially milling your opponent. And here we have Points of the MYSTERUNE, which is a quick play spell. You can activate one of these effects. You skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. You can add one MYSTERUNE card from your deck to your hand. Then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Okay. Special summon one MYSTERUNE from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. So it's a searcher, or it special summons a monster from the extra deck, but you lose that on your battle phase. The way it's sounding, or so far, it looks like the battle phase isn't going to be that important. It looks like you're going to try to banish your opponent's deck, which I guess is going to be interesting to see how effective it is. It's a cool card. It looks like a fantasy. These look like fantasy cards. More along the lines of Magic, but still the Yu-Gi-Oh art style. Here we have MYSTERUNE of the Brilliant Flame, which is a quick play spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. Activate one of these effects. You skip your next battle phase. You target one opponent's special summon monster. You destroy it. Then you can banish the top two cards of their deck. One target destruction. Or you can special summon one MYSTERUNE monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. So it looks like the only monsters might be in the extra monster zone. I mean, in the extra deck, and you're just special summoning them out while using through the quick play spells. And the single target destruction isn't that great, but I guess banishing two cards, just keeps on adding to that. Quick play spell. Activate one of these effects. You skip your next battle phase, so that seems like the theme. Pretty much not going to be attacking. You target one spell trap card, one spell or trap card your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish the top 4 cards of their deck, or special summon one MYSTERUNE. So this one banishes more cards. I'm really interested to see how effective. I think I'm gonna be building this deck. In Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, it looks pretty fun to mess around with. I don't think it's gonna be that great, in actual competitive play. But I think the occasional mill banishes, like milling your opponent, but through banishing, that's more of an effective way. This seems like a fun way of going about it. For people that want to do that, MYSTERUNE of Dispel is a quick play. Skip your next battle phase. If your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand, except during the draw phase, you can discard one random card from their hand, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. So it looks like the main reason they put the skip your next battle phase thing here is because otherwise people would just be abusing this card, because then you could just activate this. Decks can still run this that aren't using the MYSTERUNE archetype. If you just run this here, if your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand, except during the draw phase, discard one random card. It's just I can see like random troll decks running this, and then special summon one MYSTERUNE from your extra deck. Okay. Yeah. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase. Target one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects. Then banish the top 3 cards of their deck. So it is essentially a Forbidden Chalice, which is nice. Special summon 1 Mysterune from your extra deck to the extra main monster zone. Here we have another quick play. Same thing. Target 1 face of monster in the field. Apply this effect to it, then manage the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Once applied this turn, that monster cannot attack. Also, the next time it would be destroyed by battle card effect. It is not destroyed. So it looks like this is going to be your way of protecting your card, your monsters from being destroyed. So this is their form of their protection. Just to appreciate the art here, this looks really cool. It looks like a first person. It's like a first person RPG. Really cool art. Especially on 1 Mysterune. So it looks like, again, I'm interested to see what those extra deck monsters are like. Here we have Mysterune of the Golden Droplets. Not much happening here in the art. It looks like they're getting a bunch of riches. Your opponent draws 1 card, then you banish the top 4 cards of the deck. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be running this one. Quick play spell. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase if this card resolves. Banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of cards they control. That could be interesting. So this is Mysterune of the Raging Storm. Look at that art. Really cool art. I'm liking the art on these. Yeah, so it looks like for these, you know, they're kind of like one-off effects, generic effects, preventing you from battle. It's going to be interesting with the field spell, being able to activate them from your hand during your opponent's turn. But yeah, being able to recycle Mysterunes, it looks like the field spell is going to be really important here. Especially since it looks like it's not a once per turn, a hard once per turn. So you can just, if you get multiples of these, and you have a lot of Mysterune cards in your grave, you can just keep on recycling and recycling. I can actually see the milling of this being super effective. Now that I'm looking at this, and depending on the extra deck monsters. So this is the guy from one of the art. This is Moon and Wings of the Mysterune. Level 3 Life Fairy Fusion. So if this card is special summon from the extra deck, you can discard 1 card, add 1 Mysterune continuous spell from your deck to your hand. So it looks like the only target for that was the one up here. Each time a quick play spell is activated, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So it looks like you're going to be getting that. And then just trigger a bunch of quick play spells. When your opponent activates or card effects that targets a Mysterune card, and or set cards you control, you can banish this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So this is a way to just protect your cards, and then once per turn during each end phase, gain 1,000 life points. So preferably, it looks like the idea of this is just to build up life points, so you are able to actually get to the point where you can mail banish your opponent. And then here we have a dog. We have Gary Fangs of the Mysterune. So this is a level 4 Dark Beast Fusion effect. 2 Mysterune monsters, but you're just going to be cheating it out. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target 1 non-quick play Mysterune spell in your grave, add it to your hand. So the field spell or the continuous we were just talking about cannot be destroyed by card effects. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can target 1 card in the field, destroy it. Not crazy great. It looks like that's the last card. But yeah, it looks like, I mean, if you can get to the field spell, the milling can actually be pretty effective. I can see you just, if you establish this field spell, then you can just make your opponent just trigger a bunch of these, you know, activate all the ones you have that you're able to activate. Obviously they have like specific conditions where they kind of prevent you from just spamming all of them during your first turn. But you know, the ones you can, just activate them. For instance, this one, add a Mysterune card from your deck to your hand, then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. You can just activate that one, and then you know, once you get to the point where you have a bunch of them in your grave, once per turn, if you activate a Mysterune quick play spell, you can target up to 3 Mysterune quick play spells in your grave, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw that many cards. So again, just keep on recycling, and in the hope of eventually getting to mill. But the field spell looks like it's a super big focus of the deck. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be an interesting deck. I don't see it being competitively viable, but I think it's going to be a fun deck to play around. And at the occasional times where you can mill your opponent, I think it's going to be funny. I don't know how fun it'll be over time to just attempt to mill them every time. But I guess we'll see. I'm interested to see how this deck turns out. What do you guys think about the deck? Do you like it? If you guys want to check out the Valiants, it's on the top right corner. It's another archetype, which is another interesting one. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.